Hello, my friends. Welcome to week 2 here in Interpreting Scripture. I'm going to get into the details for, I think I'm going to go ahead and do the assignment 2 first, since that's what many of you are probably most curious at what's going on, because it's a bit of a new type of assignment, which, you have realized that we like to throw lots of new types of assignments on you in these courses, but here we go. Biblical Genre Review Group Wiki. What the? Well, let's see. For the reading in week 2, your instructor, that would be me, will place you into groups of 4 to 5. This has already been done. So, if you don't understand that, you are already in a group. All right, so you'll in a second you'll click this and we'll walk you through. But these same groups will also be used for further assignments in this course. So you are permanently in a group. It's basically like a discussion board group, but we're using it for this as of right now. I'm not sure if that'll affect your discussion boards or not, but as of right now you are in a group. And you may have to interact with just that group for discussion boards. In the past, you only get into one group in a course. But the point is for this assignment, you are already in your group. If for some reason you click on this and you can't see who those people are, obviously let me know. But it should be pretty self-explanatory. We're going to use these groups for other assignments as well. But this week in this group, you're going to divide up or divvy up chapters 14 to 22 in GGW. And obviously that is the section dedicated to the biblical genres, which you are all very familiar with. What I'm asking you to do is to essentially divide up the work amongst yourselves as evenly as you can. I know in a group setting it's never 100% even, but try to do it based on your likes and your strengths and your differences if you can. But make it as interactive as you possibly can this week with each other and have some fun. Try assigning simpler genres to students with more chapters and more difficult genres to those with less. In other words, some of the genres are going to be, a simpler genre, whatever. You guys may even disagree on what that is, right? So some of you may think like the narrative is more simple than another one, or it's more complicated. The point is just as you guys see the amount of material and difficulty of dividing things up, try to be as even as possible. Another example, if you have students with less reading, be responsible for formatting the wiki. Okay, so it is recommended that for the sake of your own mastery of the course material, you try to select chapters representing genres you feel you have mastered the least. Okay, so it's a group assignment, so all that to say is just do the best you can on that, but make sure as a group you get it all done, because you will need to rely on each other to do well. I'll go ahead and read this brief thing on the genres, but essentially we're acknowledging that many of you have already taken courses. All of you guys have taken courses with genres that have been addressed already. So this is really kind of now taking those genres and we're going to do some more with them, okay? Your team will construct a wiki that surveys each of the 9 biblical genres. Now, this is not actually going to be a real wiki that you post on the internet. It's just, I'm going to get that question, so no, that's not what this is. We want it formatted like a wiki. Now, that's what this first video is to show you what does a wiki even look like, how do you format it, how do you construct it, title it, break it apart, and that sort of thing. So we want it to look and feel as close to a real wiki as possible, and this little video shows you how to do that. All right, so someone could essentially be responsible for taking all the info that people share together in your group and then making it look and feel like a wiki. That could be one person's job if you so choose. Now, what we want you to do is you're going to construct this wiki for the 9 biblical genres that are in these chapters 14 to 22, okay? The idea of what we're looking for is that this assignment or this survey of the 9 genres kind of works like a cheat sheet for biblical genres, or a resource that you would feel confident turning to when studying the Bible in the future, or saying, like, if you were doing a small group or teaching on the genres in a Bible study or a class of some kind, you can be like, hey, here's a really, really clear, concise summary of the 9 biblical genres for a student to really understand what they are, how they work, and so forth. So what you're doing is dedicating at least 1 page to each genre with aesthetically formatted, written. That means that it looks good and it's easy to follow and understand. Now, that does not mean change the fonts around to all different odd things and that sort of thing. It means that you're not just putting rambling things. You know where to divide it, how to subtitle things and things of that nature. Actually, why don't I Wikipedia something and show you what that means? So, if you were gonna, let me find something. What should we wiki? Let's wiki. Oh, you know what? Let's wiki Moody Bible Institute. Look at that, Moody Bible Institute Wikipedia. So see how it divides things into early years. It's got a picture, programs. You know, it has nothing to do with the font. It has to do with how it organizes the content. And so just that's what we're talking about when we say aesthetically pleasing. Okay. Pictures, flow charts. You know, if you Google a city, for instance, if you were interested in moving to Chicago, it would have things like the demographics. It would have things like the weather, all sorts of different kind of pictures and charts and that sort of thing. For each genre, you want to try to include, you know, as many of those types of things as many of those types of things as possible. For each genre, include at minimum a description of the genre, examples of the books or sections of books that contain this genre of literature, distinctive interpretive factors or details. Now, this likely would be to literally give subheadings like that. Like you could literally put distinctive interpretive factors like in a section like that. Distinctive interpretive factors, something like that. You could. I just want to clearly see all these things as we're grading, or details, and a step-by-step how-to guide on how to interpret the genre. Now, this is where you would need to reflect on the reading in GGW. You can feel free to use other resources, but you have to cite them. Now, notice that in this, you cite them like Wikipedia cites them. So how does a Wikipedia cite it? You see these little numbers here? That's how they cite it. So you put a little, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, and then you have the reference at the bottom. So this is not going to look like a typical research paper. It's going to look like a Wikipedia. So I should be able to see it more like that than what a normal research paper would be. But you need to make sure to cite the stuff, even if it's from the textbook. Everything you must cite. At the conclusion of the wiki, include a bibliography of the works you use for this project, which is exactly what I just showed you. That is the bibliography that you would include. Okay? I think that that's basically it. Now, it says assignment 2 biblical research group wiki. That's what this is. You go to the link and into your group, and then click group wiki in group tools section. So what does that mean? You click on that, and then you'll see, I don't know what comes up for you. You might just see your group. I don't think you can get into the other groups, but I can see, for instance, group 1. And when you go into group 1, you'll either see all of those or you'll just see your group. I'm not sure what you guys see. But then you just then click on it. You can see in this group, this first group has these lovely students. And then you would just click on group wiki. You can send an email to everybody. I think you guys can do that. That's not just a function for the professor. And then you can see these are all the 3 assignments that you guys will be doing together, but you don't need to worry about the other ones right now. But you can literally just click on group wiki. You see the summarization of it right there. And sorry, you would want to go to edit wiki content. So this is where you guys can start to to play with it together. Now, I think the easiest thing, we have some tools for you here. Let me just open up a new page and go back to week 2. I want to go over these other videos that we posted down here for you. Obviously, I already mentioned the how to create and edit the wiki page, but then how to use Google Drive. This is so that you can work on a document together, because if you go in here and you edit all this stuff up and then submit, that submits it like you're done. So this is not like a Google Drive where you guys can all put it in here and continually edit it together. This is something where you turn in the document. Does that make sense? So you obviously are going to see hopefully who's in your group and understand that. But then what we're wanting you to do during the week is to interact using these tools. So Google Drive, if you don't know how to use that, here's an overview for it. And in Google Drive, you can literally share a document, and as you edit it, you can all kind of see each other's updates and make notes and all sorts of nice things like that. So you can do that to share the material. And then you can also Google Hangout, which is, a free video. It's basically a free video Skyping each other, but you can do multiple people, and it's free, unlike Skype when you video multiple people. So Google Hangout, you can do that with each other. There's an overview of how to do that if you haven't before. And then Dropbox is another one. I think Dropbox is a free resource for the minimum account, and for something like this where you're just going to share basically like Word type documents, it's you'll have plenty of space with the most basic account in Dropbox. So you can use that, but I would actually just recommend using the Google Drive because it's very free, very easy to use, and then you don't have to use Dropbox. However, Dropbox allows you to use photos. I think you can do the same in Google Drive. I'm not sure how that works for things like photos and graphs, but Dropbox would work for that as well, to share that amongst yourselves. Or you can use anything else if you guys want to share it with your group and have a different preference. The point is that we're giving you tools how to interact with each other as a group, and I want you to have fun with it. So that is basically it, my friends. And then when you're done, you would essentially hit the edit the wiki edit the wiki page, and put it in there. Now you noticed that you can also just comment below like this, and you might want to start there if you guys are initially sharing something like phone numbers or Facebook or something like that. But you should have each other's emails as well. So I think that is it. All right. So you can see the different this is where you would turn stuff in. Okay, that's the create wiki page. All right, that's when you're done. So you would start it on a Google Doc, for instance, and then turn it in there. If you have any questions, please let me know. Now let us go back to week 2 and talk about the discussion for this week. Actually, no, I'm going to stop this video here because the discussion board, it is already getting to be a long video. So we'll stop there, and let me know if you have questions. Thanks, guys.